Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice. So seeing now, as I said earlier, this is one of those things that is one of those holes in my film watching thing where everybody seems to think that you've seen Beetlejuice, and I've never seen Beetlejuice. Sharon, you've seen Beetlejuice.
I've seen it.
I think you're the only one of us who's actually seen
I'm
the original
the only
Beetlejuice.
one of the four, yeah. And I saw it when it was released. So whenever it was released, that's when I saw it.
It would have been 1988, I believe, because it was
That's
released the
about right
year
then.
it was released the year before Batman, and because there was a big furore when they cast Michael Keaton as Batman, because they were like, "What? Beetlejuice? You're gonna cast Beetlejuice as Batman? How does that work?" So so yeah, there was a whole thing about that. So, but okay, Sharon, all I need to know then is, from your point of view, does Beetlejuice deserve the sort of cult following, or the sort of like the sort of hallowed place it has in people's hearts?
For me, it didn't. I mean, I watched it. I certainly watched it because
I've heard
again,
that.
I was a film fan then, and we would have video nights because we'd go down to our video shop and and rent two or three videos,
Yep.
proper VHS videos, and we'd have an evening of it. And I remember that was probably one of our video night film. And so I watched it, but yeah, to me, it wasn't a standout film. I knew at the time people raved about it, but it didn't throw me to bits.
All right, cool. And
No, I've
seeing as
heard a couple of people say that. Heard a couple of people say that.
and seeing as we've had that wonderful, wonderful intro, Sean, tell us about Beetlejuice.
Okay, Beetlejuice.
And
So
I think
basically,
maybe not so much the storyline, but more like just what was your experience coming to it
okay,
like, not having seen the
so
first one?
I mean, I was aware of the other one, obviously, with Michael Keaton and all that. Okay, so yeah, I'm just going to go into this. This had me in stitches. I was physically in stitches at this film. It was such a pleasure. It really, really was. I was even making other people laugh that were in there as well, and they were laughing. It was just, well, I found it really, really hilarious. And
Oh wow!
there's some, yeah, yeah. I mean,
Of
the
all the
one
things
line,
I expected, that was not it.
no, no. Well, I wasn't
No.
expecting it. I was expecting it to be really, really bad. But they do these. I don't know if they did it in the original one, but they do like these montages where it's like, um, they start bursting into sing, and they all sort of freeze and all start mouthing to the words.
There is a very I've never seen the first Beetlejuice, but I know there's a very famous scene done to "Daylight Come and Me Wanna Go
All right. Well, in
Home."
this one, they've got MacArthur Park is waiting in the dark. Someone left my cake out in the rain, and I was in stitches because they all sort of freeze, and then they sort of mouth the words and all look at each other like that. And yeah, it was really funny. I don't know if these other characters in it, but there's like loads of like secretaries with little small heads,
Yeah,
and
the
Yeah,
shrunken
they're
heads.
in the
Yeah,
first one.
and they open like one of the side stories is obviously I'm not sure the name, but the daughter,
well,
um,
because you have Winona Ryder who plays a character called Lydia, who was the daughter in the
Lydia, yeah,
first film,
Lydia,
and she now has a daughter who's played by Jenna Ortega.
Jenna Ortega, yeah. So anyway, but there's a scene in this where there's a couple of other guys, and something happens to the Jenny Ortega character, and there's like this young lad that's really, really, um, should we say, flirty and that, and she sort of likes him and that, but he's not all he's cracked up to be, sort of
Hmm.
thing. So, and yeah, and then it goes into like the netherworld. He goes, "Oh, you can't go. Oh, you'll have to take the line. Sorry, like that." And he goes, "Oh, I want to go into," and they got like tickets and stuff. So, and there's all different people that have got things sticking out of them, and it was just, oh yeah. And they've got like, there's a villain in it that wants to marry Beetlejuice. She's a soul sucker, yeah. She's a soul sucker. So you can imagine what happens when. And Danny DeVito's in it right
Yeah,
early on. Is it Danny DeVito? And I'm like, nah, is that? And it
well,
goes, yeah, it is. You
it's
like, oh,
it
he's
sounds
like
like
a
it sounds like a Tim Burton reunion of just bringing up.
wow. Perhaps it is. Perhaps it is. But yeah. But that just made me laugh. So that was right at the real start when the soul sucker gets sort of put together, should we say? But and then he's like, "You shouldn't be here," and it just made me laugh, and I just really, really had so much fun. And I was, as I say, I went to an early showing because I went straight after work, and there were a couple of people either side of me, and they were laughing as well. So I mean, I was totally, totally surprised because I thought I was going to be, this is just not going to be for me. It's going to be so stupid. It is very slapstick, but
Yeah.
for me, I reckon for a good 2 minutes of MacArthur Park, I was laughing my head off because
You know, no,
When,
sure.
when they're sat in pews and things, they just sort of stare at each other like we're surprised. Don't they? MacArthur Park. Brilliant. Yeah.
Okay, you see, that's Sean. Somebody who has never seen. I actually have it on my watch list because it's now, as I said, it's now on Netflix. It's been put out on Netflix now. I've never seen the original, but this actually makes me quite happy because there were a couple of times when they announced this film, I was like, oh my god, no, another cash grab. Oh my god, Tim Burton's lost it because it's been a while since I've really sort of like liked a Tim Burton film, and so for you to say this, I'm happy that at least that they seem to have nailed something about it. So okay,
I'm a bit worried though about, because a lot of people have told me the first one is not particularly good, so I'm worried that I might not even bother to watch that and just.
Well, it'll make a good comparison thing.
Okay,
it'll make a good comparison thing.
I'll have to do that.
But okay. So if nobody else has any other questions, how many stars?
I'm going to give this one a 4. I really enjoyed it. I had a good time in this movie, which is really, really, perhaps because I wasn't expecting a good time, and I just really enjoyed it. But that scene, that MacArthur Park scene, I was in rolling. I was like rolling. Someone left it. You can imagine, the lyrics that someone left the cake out in the rain. It's just like,
it's an awful song.
That is an awful song, but it's so good as a parody. It was, it just worked.
Okay, you see, I need to go find out what this song is now. But although one thing I found out earlier this week was it last week? I can't remember. Was that apparently Winona Ryder had so much affection for the first film that she had it written into her Stranger Things contract that if ever a sequel to Beetlejuice came up, she was allowed to leave. That she had to be given the time off to go make a sequel to Beetlejuice, and that was the only she had it written to her contract. I was like, I don't care any other job, but if they come up with a Beetlejuice sequel, I'm off. I'm leaving you guys in your upside down nonsense. I'm off.
Lauren Graham has that for Gilmore Girls.
Does she?
Mm-hmm. Anytime there's a Gilmore Girls thing, she can run from whatever she's doing.
Okay, and oh no, I just had a really, really, really mean thought. Because I haven't seen Lauren Graham in anything for a while, but I'm gonna move on. And I'm gonna